High above the bustling city, on a ledge overlooking a busy street, two small eggs lay nestled together. This is the story of our two baby pigeons, whom we'll call Pip and Pop. Their nest wasn't much to look at, mind you, just a simple platform of twigs and leaves. But to Pip and Pop, still trapped inside their shells, it was the whole world. The sounds of the city, the traffic below, the distant sirens, all of these were just muffled sounds to the two chicks waiting to be born. Their parents, a handsome pair of city pigeons with iridescent feathers flashing green and purple in the sunlight, took turns keeping the eggs warm. Life in the nest was quiet, a patient waiting game, but change was coming, a big change, and soon the little nest would be filled with the sounds of new life. For inside those eggs, Pip and Pop were getting ready to greet the world. One morning, as the sun warmed the city, a tiny beak tapped against the inside of an egg. Tap, tap, tap. It was Pip working hard to break free. With a final crack, the egg split open and Pip tumbled out, a tiny ball of fluffy yellow down. He was a sight, small and wobbly, with large, unfocused eyes. He blinked, taking in the world for the first time. It wasn't long before Pop decided to join the party. He had heard his siblings escape and was eager for his own grand entrance. With a mighty push, Pop broke free from his shell, chirping loudly. The two chicks huddled together, still wet and shaky, but happy to be free from their eggs. Their parents, cooing softly, looked on with pride. The world was a vast and unknown place, full of strange sights and sounds, but for now, all that mattered was the warmth of each other and the comforting presence of their parents. Pip and Pop were growing fast, and they had voracious appetites. Their parents took turns flying off to find food, returning with their crops full of seeds and grains. The babies would eagerly thrust their tiny beaks into their parents' mouths, demanding to be fed. The milk, a special secretion from their parents' crops, was rich and nourishing. It helped them grow bigger and stronger each day. As they ate, their parents would preen their downy feathers, keeping them clean and tidy. The days were filled with a cycle of feeding, sleeping and growing. The little nest, once so spacious, was starting to feel a bit cramped with two rapidly growing chicks. But Pip and Pop didn't seem to mind. They were content to snuggle together, their soft chirps a constant melody in the bustling city. Life as baby pigeons was simple but demanding. They were always hungry, always needing attention. But their parents, with tireless dedication, tended to their every need, preparing them for the day when they would have to fend for themselves. Section 4. Growing Feathers and Wobbly Legs. The days turned into weeks, and Pip and Pop grew bigger and stronger. Their yellow down was slowly being replaced by grey and white feathers, the colours of adult pigeons. They began to look more and more like their parents, though still much smaller. Their legs, once wobbly and weak, grew stronger, and they began to explore the confines of their nest. They would stretch their wings, flapping them clumsily, their little bodies yearning for the sky. Their parents encouraged their attempts at flight, showing them how to flap their wings and glide on air currents. They would perch on the edge of the nest, demonstrating takeoff and landing techniques. Pip and Pop watched intently, their little eyes filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. One day Pip, feeling particularly adventurous, hopped to the edge of the nest and took a tentative leap into the air. He flapped his wings furiously, but only managed to stay aloft for a few seconds before landing with a soft thud on the ledge. Section 5. A scary cat and a gust of wind. Life on the ledge wasn't without its dangers. One afternoon, a ginger cat with emerald eyes slunk onto the rooftop, its sleek body moving silently towards the nest. Pip and Pop, sensing danger, huddled together, their small bodies trembling. Their mother, seeing the threat, let out a warning squawk and flew straight at the cat, her wings buffeting its face. Startled, the cat backed away, giving the father pigeon a chance to swoop in and chase it away. Another day, a sudden gust of wind threatened to blow Pip out of the nest. He clung desperately to the edge, his small body buffeted by the wind. His father, seeing his plight, quickly flew to his side, shielding him from the wind with his body until the gust subsided. These experiences, though frightening, taught Pip and Pop valuable lessons about the dangers of the world and the importance of being alert. They learned to recognize the signs of danger and to rely on their instincts and each other for survival. The world outside the nest was full of challenges, but it was also full of wonder and excitement. And Pip and Pop, with their parents as their guides, were eager to explore it. Section 6. Spreading wings, taking flight. The day finally arrived when Pip and Pop were ready for their first real flight. They had been practicing their flapping and gliding, their wing muscles growing stronger each day. Their parents had been patiently coaching them, encouraging them to take the leap. It was a bright sunny morning, the air still and calm. Pip and Pop stood at the edge of the ledge, their wings outstretched, feeling the gentle breeze ruffle their feathers. Their parents circled overhead, cooing words of encouragement. Taking a deep breath, Pip launched himself into the air. He flapped his wings with all his might, feeling the lift as the air caught beneath them. He was flying. Pop, seeing his brother airborne, followed suit, his own wings beating powerfully. At first their flight was clumsy and uncertain, but as they gained confidence, they began to soar, their wings carrying them higher and higher above the rooftops. Their parents flew alongside, their proud coos echoing through the air. Section 7. Freedom in the sky. The world looked completely different from the air, the bustling city spread out beneath them. A tapestry of buildings, streets and parks. The sun glinted off windows and the distant hum of traffic reached them as a gentle murmur. They circled the neighborhood, their wings carrying them effortlessly on the wind. They swooped and dived, feeling the rush of air past their feathers. The feeling of freedom was exhilarating. Below them, people stopped to watch their aerial display, pointing at the sky and smiling. But Pip and Pop were oblivious to the attention. They were lost in the joy of flight, their small bodies reveling in the experience. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the city, Pip and Pop returned to their nest, exhausted but exhilarated. They had done it, they had flown. And as they snuggled together for warmth, they knew that the sky was no longer a limit, but a vast playground waiting to be explored.